Mind Walk. Thanks for joining us on the Mind Walk podcast. I'm Mike.
I'm Sean, and this is Barney the Wonder Dog. Barney the Wonder Dog.
We're going to go for a walk and talk about some things, and we'd love for you to join us.
So subscribe to the Mind Walk podcast on iTunes, Spotify, or YouTube, or where you find all of your pod stuff. Follow us on social media at Mind Walk Pod.
Now, everyone is going to get one free Mind Walk a week, but because you want more Mind Walk, support us on Patreon. For $1.99 a month, you get absolutely nothing, but you get the satisfaction of supporting us. For $5, you can become a trail angel and get 3 Mind Walks on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And for $10 a month, you can get 5 Mind Walks a week. That's 7.5 hours of content, Monday through Friday. Now, let's get into the
Mind Walk! So I want to get this little thing out of the way just because I'm a little bummed out. They're finally cutting down the trees in front of my house, or in front of my neighbor's house. Yeah, so there's 2 beautiful twin pines that are probably 40 feet tall? Something like that. And, they send a guy up and he chops the branches down from the top and they drop down. And then they throw those branches in the wood chipper. So it's like between the chainsaws and the wood chipper, they're actually expending energy to destroy these beautiful living creatures that give us oxygen and shade and make us... Almost did it again. I almost did it again. But I think partially is because I'm in such the rhythm of doing the business side. That's like this thing, then this other thing that we're cutting out. We're not doing anymore. Yeah, so last time I was here, this creek was kind of going pretty good.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, well, that's why these boards are here. This bridge is here. It's still pretty wet.
Yeah.
Smelled a bit of a skunk.
Yeah.
We got plenty of bottles to pick up. I'm going to do my trash pickup early.
Yeah. I mean, we could just even run it back to the car right now if you want.
I suppose we could.
Yeah, instead of carrying it
Well,
around.
are we going to be coming back this way?
Yeah.
All right, well, I'll pick it up on the way out.
It feels like this is really the only path.
I was about to say moist about the river, but we have this linguistic taboo against the word moist now because it's allegedly such a terrible word to say.
I disagree.
Well, I disagree too.
Yeah.
I think it's a fantastic word.
And I think it...
And a very descriptive word.
Yes, exactly. It's almost like it's almost onomatopoetic. Poetic. So I think all these trails kind of loop around.
Oh, cool. We're at this Dixie crossroads at Dixie Canyon Park.
Yeah. Bridge 1.
Oh, I thought Bridge T?
T, maybe? Yeah, I'm going to walk across it because I like bridges. Yeah, let's just go this way, I guess. Why not? Yeah, but they're killing those trees.
What were you talking about earlier? Something about something?
The cutting down the trees.
Oh, yeah.
And, the sound of the wood chipper starting at 8 in the morning. And then, there's going to just be a lot of fucking demolition happening at that place in the next few weeks. And then a lot of construction. And, developers suck. They're not going to make any money on that.
On destroying the tree?
Well,
Not directly.
Yeah.
But presumably, well, there could be any number of reasons why they're destroying the tree, but...
Well, yeah, because they're going to build an apartment building there. But what I mean is, the housing market is not great right now. So it's like people are just acting out of their developer pathologies.
Well, they might also be thinking, hey, if it takes a year and a half to build this thing, then by the time it's built, the market will have cycled around again and it'll be a good market again. I mean, I'm not saying that they know what they're talking about, but you can come up with any kind of justification you want
for sure.
to say why now is the time to do something.
We got a classic here.
Ooh, a tire swing. Are you going to sit in it or what? Or you're going to stand in it? Nice.
I think it's just hard to get in. I mean, you can give it a try.
Well, you know, my favorite Mad magazine cover is the one where Alfred E. Newman is sitting in a tire swing.
Right.
And the swing is attached to a branch, and he's holding up the branch.
Oh, yes.
And the branch isn't attached to a tree.
Oh,
so
yeah.
he's just holding up the branch, and he's hovering above the ground. And my young mind was like, surely the physics should work. I mean, if he's strong enough to hold it up, then shouldn't it stay up? No.
It feels very Bugs Bunny, too, right?
Oh, yeah, yeah. Well, it's just one of those classic physics-defying gags. I don't know. Are you even supposed to?
I feel like your legs...
This is how privileged I am. I don't know how to use a tire
Well,
swing.
I think your legs go through the other side.
Right.
And then you hold on to the top like that.
But if you're like a real little kid, you can just scoot your butt right in there, right?
Probably. And I'll give you a push.
Oh, my God.
Here, actually, if I hold you... Oh, yeah, actually, that might be a way to do it.
That'd be kind of...
Here, let me...
Woo! Let's play our lives away.
I mean, you're getting pretty good there.
Oh, yeah, this is fun.
Yeah. Then they have it set up so you won't hit the tree.
Yeah, I got a nice breeze coming at me.
Yeah. Okay, I'll see you later.
Okay. Bye. All right, I got 6 swings in. I had my fun for the day.
I think we found the title.
Tire swing?
No, 6 swings.
Barney seems excited enough.
Oh yeah, I think there might be critters around here for him to chase.
Let's see, we've got some. We've got a phone number on the tire, Sean.
Yeah, should we give him a call?
Yeah, I think so. Go for it.
We
can tell them that we're on the Mindwalk podcast. You ready?
Just a sec. I shut off my phone.
I mean, it says to text rather than call.
I'll text.
For what it's worth. It says text me. 818.
Just a sec.
All right.
What are you doing, Barney? Okay, 818.
Yep. 968 7160.
And I'm just going to text tire swing and see what happens.
Okay.
Okay, well, let's keep moving. Let's see what happens. So,
I'm going to take no picture. The tire swing must be left to the imagination.
Yes, and I would say like it's not the tripod style tire swing. It's the it's like the rope over the branch.
Well, there's 2 ropes though.
Oh, well, there's just one rope that went over the branch. right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I was just saying there's 2 points of connection on the tire as opposed to 1.
Yeah.
That probably helps keep it within a more limited range of motion.
Yeah. So you were talking about how you really like Wildwood as a hike.
Yeah.
I like these kind of things as a hike. A little shady, a little kind of in the valley.
Well, look, if I could get the same trail as Wildwood, but with shade, I mean, then, I'd love it all the more.
So, I'll tell you real quickly about my dream,
Okay.
and then you can tell me about yours. So, it was a mind walk.
Uh-huh.
We were on a mind walk, and we had like
Surprise.
15 or 20 people on mics.
Wow.
A lot of people. And we were all running around this area that was kind of a sculpture garden, but they were sculptures of hikes that we had already done.
Oh. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Like a sculpture of the path itself?
Well, so like as an example, the big kind of dramatic part that happened was we got over to the Morrison Caves section, and as I was hiking through that, the sculpture started falling apart. Started just like all the kind of like facades that I was climbing on just started falling. And turns out Matt Damon was our sponsor. And he was telling us a story about how he was raised as a girl.
Okay.
Yeah. And then other people in our group started talking about how they were raised as girls too. And that's it. That's the basic dream. Okay, this is not a good path.
Okay.
Oh.
It's fairly well worn.
Yeah, you can take a look up here. You'll see.
I mean, I certainly trust you. Well, are we going back down, or are we just cutting to the side there?
Let's go back down, because there's so many paths on the other side there that we can take.
It did feel kind of Wildwood because we were basically going straight uphill.
Yeah, a little bit.
Barney's soldiering on ahead and think he'll be able to cut across. Let's find out.
He is very small. Yeah, so I think my mom definitely attempted to raise me as a boy. But I think she had a lot of conflicts, because I think she used to tell me they didn't cut my hair when I was younger.
Okay.
So I had like these kind of long, beautiful locks. And people would be like, oh, what a cute little girl you have there. And she told me this story a lot, which was probably meaningful for her. And so I think at some point, she probably wanted a girl. You know, she raised me with a lot of dolls. And, I don't know. I mean, she must have caught me putting on makeup and dresses and stuff. Right? Isn't that part of our experimentation as children? Get into mom's stuff.
Yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't. It clearly is for a lot of people. I went into mom's stuff. I don't remember ever putting on a lot of makeup, though.
Yeah, I wasn't into the makeup or whatever, but I vaguely have such a vague, cloudy memory of putting on lipstick. But it may also be just a kludged memory of watching other kids put on makeup in movies or something. You know what I mean? Like,
I think because I have, I don't know, this trepidation around breaking the rules / going on paths I'm not supposed to go on kind of thing, that I remember looking through their drawers a lot and like examining stuff, but I never wanted to like use it.
Yeah.
I never wanted evidence of use. I wanted it all just like, I'm looking at it, I'm seeing what's up, but I'm not going to make a mess. I'm not going to like blow it up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So maybe I did some stuff with some makeup, but it might have been just like make a small mark on my hand and be like, oh, okay, so that's what lipstick feels like. Okay, that's what this thing is.
Yeah. Interesting.
Which is admittedly a lot less fun than just like putting on a bunch of mom's makeup, which I'm sure would have been a blast. Right?
Well, do you think, though, I mean...
I found my mom's diaphragm once. I didn't know what it was.
Well, fucking finding various female relatives' sex toys is part and parcel with being I think mostly a young man. You know, I think it definitely happens to young women, but it's not as like traumatizing or whatever.
Well, I just didn't even know it. It just, I was really young. I just was this beige ring. I just didn't know what to make of it. I'm like, what's that for? And yet somehow, of all the many, I don't know how many hours of my youth was spent rifling through drawers, but over like a decade or so, I'm sure there were hours, right?
It's like it's so much of our
why
youth.
did that one stick out to me, right? Probably even not knowing what it was. Maybe just because it seemed like such a strange shape. Like other things I could kind of reckon with, like a razor, I knew what that was, and like little bottles of lotions and creams, and you kind of figure. But that thing was like, what is this? Why doesn't it have a box? Why is there no labeling on it? Why doesn't it have a brand name?
Now, do you think, I'm going to ask something kind of gross. Do you think it might have had your mother's smell on it?
I didn't smell it.
Okay.
So.
No, but I'm saying like maybe from like your subconscious is like, oh, this smells like mom, or I don't know.
I think the only reason I knew it was mom's was because it was in a drawer that had all other stuff of mom's.
Hers. Oh, gotcha.
So
how did you like piece together that it was a diaphragm though?
No, I think I had this memory of this object stuck in my head, and then later I learned what a diaphragm was, and then I was like, oh, that's what that thing was. I don't know when that happened, but the memory just stuck in my head, and then I put it together later.
Well, I found my mother's Benoit balls.
Oh.
Yeah. She had a whole sex kit because she was the local slut.
You don't say.
Oh, yeah, right?
The apple just does not fall from the tree.
Part of it's trauma, part of it's maybe something biological, meaning like maybe it's just something that we just have high sex drives. I don't know.
All right, so want to hear about my dream?
Yes,
and whether you do or not, I guess I'll tell you anyway.
Yeah, this is good.
Guess what? It was also a mind walk.
Holy shit.
But this one was just between you and me. And we were walking in some kind of large park or something, state park thing. But then we happened upon like this cabin. It was a really nice cabin too. And then I was sort of like, oh, I don't know if we should like go in that cabin. And you were kind of just like, oh, you're catastrophizing, Mike. Like, what's the worst that's going to happen?
Real quick, we got a text back.
Yes.
Oh my God, did you get my number off the tire swing? And I said yes, exclamation point. So I say to you, why are you catastrophizing?
Oh, well, no, we got to message this guy back.
Oh, I just said yes.
Oh, we got to tell them that it's going to be on the next Mind Walk podcast.
Oh, good,
We're going to talk
good.
about it.
Yeah.
And you got to send him a link.
Great.
You got to do it all.
Yeah. Let me see if I can find a link real quick here. To which one? Our Patreon?
I guess you could do that, but I mean, you could also just send them to like the iTunes or the Spotify or something.
Oh, it's on the Patreon.
Sure. Yeah, send them to the Patreon. And say we're going to talk about it on the next one, right? It's sort of like we can interview this guy or gal. Why don't you ask them why, or I don't know, what do you want to ask? Why they put the number there? Or
how about something
when?
deeper than that?
Okay.
How about, was this why you put your number there?
I don't know if that's much deeper.
No,
but
it's not. You're right. You're right.
But that's fine. If you're comfortable with it, it doesn't matter to me. I just want to keep the conversation going.
Okay, how about when was the last time you were here? It's slightly deeper. They're responding.
It's exciting. It's very like low grade exciting.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's kind of it's connection.
Yeah,
and connection is powerful and important.
It's important.
It's portment. We're gonna cross this bridge again. Well, at least we got the tire swing on that.
Oh well, we had to know. We had to go and figure it out.
Yeah.
All right, wait.
I think maybe like a month ago, a little less.
Sean, the bridge is a transitional space, and we should stand on it, even if it's only 2 feet long.
Yep. The last time they were here was like maybe a month ago.
Okay. I guess we don't know if that's when they wrote the thing or not, but that's when they were last here.
It's so cool you're doing your podcast here. Should I invite them to come on our podcast?
I would say let's have a little more conversation before the invite, just to make sure that they,
They're not a crazy person?
Yeah. Or, I mean, they can be crazy, but not too crazy. Like, I want to see if conversation with this person is possible. Can we maintain a thread, or is it going to spiral off into madness?
Sure. Sorry.
But
the flies were eating my face. I was like, time to get off the bridge. I don't know. Do you want to grab that one?
Oh, that water bottle there? Well, I can't very well turn down a challenge to pick up some litter.
Now I know the key.
All right. Well, the text is great, but it is a little bit...
I know. Now I'm focused on the text rather than...
stopping and going.
Yeah.
And I want to get back to my dream, too.
Yeah. So we find the cabin.
Yeah.
And then something about catastrophizing.
Well, I say, hey, we shouldn't, go in this cabin. But you're saying, oh, you're just catastrophizing. What's the worst that's going to happen? It's not going to be so bad. It's just private property. We should go continue the mind walk in the cabin.
It definitely sounds like me.
And so we're in the cabin and we're walking around and I'm feeling okay about it. Yeah, I think that's how it went. I think I didn't have that much resistance up front. Now that I remember, we're in the cabin, and then at a certain point I realized, wait a minute. It's like, Sean, you just convinced me to do breaking and entering. What the fuck are we doing in here? This is beyond what I'm comfortable with. And you're like, oh no, it'll be fine. They're not. What's the chances that they come back? They're probably far away somewhere. What's the chances that they come back and find us doing this? And I'm like, well, it doesn't matter. I don't want to, I don't want to make this a thing. I don't want someone to show up with a gun and be like, what are you doing in my house? And then at a certain point we left and just kind of continued the mind walk. But there was very much a sense of, like, our hike was just going through the space of the house. You know what I mean?
Sure, it was on the walk.
Yeah, it wasn't like we were lounging around. It was just sort of, we're walking through and oh, look at this and oh, look at that. And there was definitely this feeling of not deception, not betrayal, but just kind of like,
pushing your
you
boundaries.
led me down this path that I like didn't want to go down. And then even as I was saying I don't want to be a part of it, we're still trying to justify it to me. You know?
Yeah.
And then, of course, you didn't actually do this, so I'm not blaming you for it.
Yeah, don't hold it against me.
I don't. I've known people who have done that, who have had dreams in which I've done something. I think I had a girlfriend where I did something mean in a dream, and they like wanted me to be all conciliatory.
Oh,
or they were mad at me for what I had done.
For their subconscious.
Well, no, they'd just be telling me, I'm mad at you for something you did in the dream.
Yeah.
There you go.
Oh, oh no! Whew.
You can do it.
Maybe crawling is better anyways.
All right, my turn.
Oh.
There we go. I think these leaves are kind of slippery too.
That's what's doing it. Oh, I'm gonna chill in the shade over here. So yesterday I had a pretty good fall coming down the mountain. I have a
Well, hold on. I want to know now, what's your position on what is referred to as breaking and entering?
Well,
figure why not ask you what you think about it.
I definitely would say, so this is the tragedy of the commons again, right? Where some people, or maybe even the government, will be like, oh, we don't want you going in this area. And it could be seen as some kind of violation. And I'm like, well, I mean, let's say if we walk through somebody's backyard while we're on a hike, or we happen to, there's a part of this hike that we happen to go through somebody's property, it's like, I'm not going to be too worried about it in the moment. I'm just going to continue down the path I want to go. But I don't know if I'd actually open anybody's door and go in. Mm. That is, even though from my side, I just tell people, yeah, show up at my house. I mean, if I'm there, come on inside, you know. I'm very loose about my boundaries around that. But, you know, I mean, I know George probably wouldn't be happy about having people just coming over at any time. But I think in general, most people have enough decorum to not just show up. So it's, but I'll ask you this. Let's say we were in some kind of desperate situation where we were
well, it's a different story.
Lost and dehydrated and like,
that's a different story.
Yeah.
Obviously, if life is on the line or something near it, I mean, it doesn't even have to literally be a life is on the line. It could just be I think you could, if you've been hiking for whatever, a day or two or three, and, well, I mean, by the time you haven't had water in 3 days.
Yeah.
But yeah, in short, yes, there are times. I mean, I might knock first.
Sure. Oh, absolutely. I mean, I feel like that's the bare minimum of but,
if this is the only house that you can see for miles and miles and miles, and you need water or resources.
Or just protection from...
I mean, I still would obviously want to have been better prepared, but
Sure.
once you're in that situation, like, you just have to deal with the situation you're in.
This is another dead end.
So what was the point of donating all that access?
Right?
It's just going to lead to all these dead ends. No,
Well, it's like
I'm having fun exploring it, though.
Yeah, same here. And it's at least we're in the shade. And Barney is fucking rocking it.
I mean, we could still go up here. Oh,
Yeah,
actually,
that goes
there's
to the
some
back.
guys
That
doing-
goes to the
look,
back
look,
of the houses there.
Look.
Yeah.
We see some gardeners cutting some trees.
Oh yeah. So the name of this company that's cutting the tree is they call themselves a tree surgeon, but really they're a tree euthanasist. Euthanist?
Well, they may have the skills to surge a tree.
Sure, but
Most of the time, they're going to be called just to take it down.
I mean that's where the money is, right?
Yeah,
There's no money in repairing trees.
sadly so.
Yeah.
I mean, there is, but it's a money that is distributed to the commons.
Yeah.
And when the value of something is distributed to the commons, and is only worth a penny to me over the course of my life,
Yeah.
then it's like, oh, well, I'll just secure all of the pennies I'll secure all the pennies of benefit that everyone gets from this tree and make it in my pocket by cutting it down and building on top of it. So yeah, there's the commons again. I mean, capitalism is so anti-commons.
Yeah. Well, that's the other thing is like, even though I'm not.
All right, so what's the plan? Should we go down and...
Yeah, let's go back. There's another trail that we can
Okay.
connect back to. But this is the breaking and entering question, which is like, I was going to ask, how did you know it was private property or whatever? Like that's the thing. Like,
Well, I guess I didn't know for sure, but
Yeah.
it was like, someone's house, though. It was clearly not I mean, I guess it could have been a government building, but...
well, like that house that was on the park at NoHo Park. I mean, that's obviously a government building at this point.
Look at Barney in the waterfall of dirt.
You got it, bud?
He's like, oh, get me off of this crazy train.
Okay, I think I got to go this way.
That's so cool, just watching the dirt go like a river.
The silt flow. The silt must flow. Whew. Oh, hee ho, ho. Go. I mean, it looks like a trail, but it's, whew. But, this is the sound of civilization. There's a chainsaw cutting down a tree.
The sound of civilization is the sound of destruction.
Yeah.
Or at least, well, controlled destruction?
Engineered destruction.
Destruction, creation, what's the difference?
Fucking fighting, it's all the same.
Well, you had something you wanted to bring up. I feel like creation, destruction, what's the difference is
Oh, yes.
not
close.
really my answer, but is adjacent to the question
Yes.
of artist versus entertainer.
Artist versus entertainer. I mean, what is... Let's see, trying to think of somebody who I could think of as a pure entertainer. Ellen DeGeneres.
Okay.
Yeah. She's doing it, almost all of it for the money. She's a corporate network shill. She, in her pursuit of entertainment, but which is really money, she's revealed herself to be a real shill. Real, but also mean-spirited and not nice. And then I'm trying to think of somebody who's like almost like a pure artist. And I'm going to go, do you know who Kate Micucci is?
Heard the name.
She is part of Garfunkel and Oates.
Oh, yeah. Which one?
She is Oates.
Which one's that?
The little brunette.
Okay, yeah, I know her.
Yeah. So she's a puppeteer and an illustrator and a musician, and she does all of these things. And part of what she does as a TV person is, she integrates a lot of that stuff, but I think it's to support her to be able to support the rest of her arts, and her partner, Ricky Lindholm, is kind of more of a pure actress, I think they're both musicians and they're both good together, but you get the feeling that Ricky would just be fine having kind of a basically performing acting career, and that Kate is this kind of creative force that drives the two of them. So I feel like Kate Micucci versus Ellen is a great battle between entertainer and artist. Now,
are you taking an approach where one is either an entertainer or an artist?
Well, I'm just saying,
or can one be an entertainer in one moment and an artist in the next, depending on what they're doing?
I think they can, but I think that it's a spectrum, right? And Ellen is much more on one end of the spectrum, and Kate is much more on another end of the spectrum. Then there's a lot of artists who can just never sell any of their products because they're, it's almost like they're different kind of pathologies, where the artist pathology is kind of like almost unable to interface with the market, and
I think that, I don't know if it's unable to. I think that it just doesn't, by definition, have regard for it.
Sure. But I'm saying that the pathology that results in them kind of not being able to. Like they may even have a desire to make money off of their art, but there's something inhibiting, maybe, and again, like I say pathology, but maybe their artistic impulse is coming from this place of not being concerned about it. But I think that people that, want to be remunerated or be able to live off of their art have to get past that, somehow, some way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it's by definition. I don't think it's by definition. I think that because this sort of thing we call capitalism and commodification is the sort of
somebody made a little climbing
de facto
trail here.
nature of our society, that if an artist is doing something in contrast to that, then it does make it hard to sell, right?
Yes, but
Because they're going against it.
Yeah, but again, I also said I was being specific about the market, right, rather than capitalism, because I do have an example of like Ron English as a guy who's critiquing capitalism and the capital impulse. I think we need to go straight down here, and
back at the bridge again.
Yes. It's like we're tying a knot around the bridge, but I think this is...
I don't know. I think this is kind of this is really a side quest, though, as to the entertainer-artist question, unless you think it really does have to do with making money or pursuing money or whatever. I mean, it could be a case of, I don't know that this is my argument, but sort of in the way that a bribe corrupts a politician. And any politician who says like, oh, well, my politics is not influenced by this money I'm taking, right? That's laughable. So if in a similar way you could say, well, any artist who accepts money for their art, are they by definition compromised at that point? I guess
No,
one
I wouldn't
could
say
take
by
that
definition.
position.
No. But I would say part of what...
You can keep going this way, but I have serious doubts.
Well, I think this is the path I actually took last time. Somehow I ended up on a fire road from this hike. What's up, bud? We're coming. Well, I guess let me ask this question. What would satisfy you as an artist?
I don't know. But I don't know that my satisfaction is necessary to define the two terms. For me, art is really just about self-expression. I could say creative self-expression, but that just sort of kicks the can of art. So art is creativity, and creativity is art. I mean, that doesn't really mean much.
Yeah. You were right. Oh, maybe not. Oh, shit. It actually does go through a little bit here.
Although you can certainly entertain without being creative, I'd say.
Yeah.
For me, it's more about the intention. Art for me is always about intention.
What's the intention?
And of course, I think art can be entertaining, and the goal of art can be to entertain.
Well, I guess it's time to look at the map. Well, let me ask you this question. What is the goal of this art?
The art we're doing now?
Yeah.
Well, it might be different for you than for me.
Well, I think we can figure that out together.
No, for me it's, I guess, trying to create a part of it is trying to create a genuine expression.
Yeah, right.
Which I think a lot of art is.
Yeah.
And paradoxically trying to make something that is... It's like, how little refinement can we do to the thing in order to make it a commodity? Almost like a pet rock. It's like if we just take the recording and we call it a podcast.
Yeah.
Is that sufficient to make it a commodity, even if the thing itself is, just an authentic recording? By the way, I love the paradox there, and me talking about it trying to be this authentic recording, and then
we had to bring in this
sticks.
inauthentic.
Like, it was the perfect moment for that. We've talked about the bulk. The bulk is also part of the art.
Mm-hmm.
The journaling is part of the art. I forget who that guy is. I think he's Scandinavian, who's like writing some crazy series of books about like just every little thing that happens on every single day.
Fuck, I know. I've got one of his books. And they're kind of fantastic, but then they're also kind of tedious. Okay, let's take a look here at the map, see what the fuck is going on.
I'm just chalking this day up. It's a Sean day. We're just going to be trudging through some semi-difficult terrain, not knowing where we're going.
That's me.
Starting and stopping.
That is me. I mean, I'm working up a sweat. How are you doing?
I'm getting a little sweat.
Yeah.
I just don't enjoy it as much as you do. It's enjoyable, but you know me. I like to get into a stride.
Yeah.
And it's a little hard to do in this kind of terrain, but it's all right.
Well, no, I'm seeing, like, it's funny. I'm seeing paths here, but it's just like...
I mean, there should be something.
Yeah.
Why would they put access to a bunch of nothing?
Exactly.
Unless the paths are just so underused that they've been overgrown, but...
I get a feeling that that's part of it, because I can see this. There's a path up here, up to the side there, which is the fire road that I went to, but I don't see how to get to it necessarily. I mean, there is a little trail just to the, like, this way, but I don't know how we missed it. And maybe that trail that we're on, where the tire swing was the... Yeah, but there's like...
I would guess that was it, only because it was the most well-worn.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes we go on a path like this, and you'll say, "Oh, I think there's something here."
And we could try going
back. For me,
back.
like the trails very rarely are like less worn and then gradually become worn
more
again.
Worn, yeah.
They tend to just descend into, as more and more people turn
but here,
back.
So
descend into more unwarrantedness.
This is the fire road that I'm trying to get to, right there. You can see on the left there.
Yep.
Yeah.
I see that.
And it looks...
Well, I think I see that house. I think we were hiking in the direction of that house. Yeah, right now I'm facing away from it.
Yeah.
And the direction we were hiking when we were going up the tire swing path was more in that direction than the direction that I'm facing.
I wonder if we missed a turn on there. Yeah, let's go back.
But yeah, we'd have to go past that house.
Yeah, pretty much.
Now, for me, the entertainer doesn't necessarily have any desire to express anything that's authentic to themselves.
Yes.
They can just be telling a joke or singing a song for the purpose of entertainment, like they're tickling the audience, like they know how. Their goal is to entertain, and that can be done by doing a dance or a jig or making a movie or any number of things, but it can be a pure audience-based calculation. You say, I don't really care about what I'm trying to express. I'm just here to entertain the audience. It's all about the audience. You can have an entertainer that has no consideration for themselves and what it is that they're doing and only care about what levers they think they have to push to get the audience to do what they want. Right?
Yeah.
And I think entertainment is usually associated with a certain kind of pleasure in that enjoyment. I would say that entertainment could be defined more broadly, whereas even something, that makes people angry is still a form of entertainment, right?
Oh, sure.
Now, but it's a bit subjective, because some people might say, I don't enjoy getting angry, I don't want to go to this kind of show.
Well, that's what Fox News is, right?
And so it is what is and is not entertaining is, we can define it in a lot of ways, but I would argue it's, subjective.
Yeah.
Are you not entertained? Had to be said at some point.
But then, okay, then, then on the, speaking of that aspect, where does art become so self-indulgent?
Well, I think art is very self-indulgent.
Yeah, but
it's presented. It is often presented. I would argue, and we've had a discussion about this before, but that even if art is only presented to the self, it still counts as art for me. But that's even a rare case anyway. For the most part, art is presented, right?
Yeah, and again, like for me, that's part of where art comes alive.
Mm-hmm.
Art has a little more meaning, and trying to, express this personal self-indulgent thing in a way that maybe you're attempting to get an audience to understand.
I mean, I don't think art has to be completely self-indulgent at all. In fact, I think one can have the goal of entertaining with their art. I think one can have the goal of really doing anything with art, including entertainment. So I don't think these are mutually exclusive categories. I should point that out. An entertainer can also be an artist. An artist can be an entertainer. I might be willing to say that all artists are entertainers, but not all entertainers are artists. If you take a broad enough definition of entertainment. If I make a painting and someone comes like, ooh, that makes me feel sad.
Oh, yeah.
If I call that entertainment as well, just because, if you just say entertainment, it's just kind of like stimulation.
Sure.
If you see it and you're stimulated in some way,
presentational
then you're
stimulation.
entertained because it's, if you take that to be entertainment, then, but then all art, can be, entertainment, but, I guess someone, but then with art, again, you could be trying to make a commentary on entertainment and try to make art that is not entertaining and try to make, what if you tried to make art that elicited no response in anyone, right? What would that look like? I would say that's a valid artistic pursuit. So even, for me, art always can just go anywhere.
Yeah, but how would you measure that?
well, that's another question, but the pursuit is nevertheless the thing that makes it the art, to me.
Well, so I would say...
Whether you can measure it or not.
I would say...
It's not incumbent on the artist to have such a scientific approach.
No, but I would still say something like Quibi, that nobody is watching, that people, kind of poured their artistic hearts and souls into.
Well, do we know that? Do we know that they weren't just trying to create an entertainment product?
Oh, well, maybe just trying to get a paycheck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or just they just get joy out of entertaining, and so aren't really concerned with their artistic expression.
I'm going to try to go over this.
Well.
Yeah, but you go first. It's a very tough log. Or actually, it's just a felled tree at this point. It's still not, it hasn't turned into a log yet. is still being fed. Oh, you all right, bud? He's trying to get up on the branch with you.
Ooh, a bottle cap. I'll take that. But okay, so Quibi, so no one's watching it.
Yeah. And, I think that the market just went too far. I think just have too many. And I think the toughest part about being in this industry of entertainment. Fuck yeah. Sedentary. Is that what the...
Oh no, I call it slanty.
Slanty, but it's like it's the compressed layers upon layers upon layers. Yeah. Sedimentary, that's it. Not sedentary. That rock is fucking lazy. It's a lazy fucking rock.
I mean, I think an entertainer can be a hack, for sure. Can you have a hack artist?
Well, I mean, I'd say to me that has to do with intention. But then if your intention is to be a hack artist, then you're automatically not an artist. I mean, you're not a hack, right?
Right, yeah. Again, but I love paradoxes in art. I'm all about it. I absolutely love trying to make the thing that's not the thing, that therefore is the thing, that can't be the thing. To me, Al B sent me a pyramid of comedy.
Oh, yeah. To go do some
Not that I think it's definitive in any way, but at the highest level, it was paradox.
Paradoxically.
Fuck yeah, that's what I do. Speaking of paradox, Sean, I want to...
There it is.
Mention.
There's no, that's the same path. Fucking Barney. Yes, I'm listening.
So, some fans communicated.
What?
And they said that they wanted an audience. They wanted an audience with the goatfish.
Oh, fuck yeah.
And I was kind of feeling meh about it. I was like, gotta set up the whole thing. But I thought better of it, and we figured out a time yesterday. And I set up a Zoom call to do it.
Nice.
So I could give them the video presentation.
Because that's
we had a great time for like 45 minutes.
Yeah.
And they were saying, yeah, this really works well like one-on-one. And that's true. That's what I'm used to doing at the conventions. Groups of 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 people, up close and personal.
Now,
hold on, let me.
Yeah.
At a certain point, I asked them, or I presented to them the idea of like, well, what if for a thing such as this, I asked for 50 cents a minute for an entertainment of this kind? Would that be fair, do you think? And they said, yeah, that sounds fair.
Okay.
I made clear I wasn't asking it of them because that wasn't the deal going into it.
Yeah.
They said that'd be fair, but I did say like, hey, this is my Venmo, if you want to leave me a little something.
Yeah.
They said, sure, yeah, we'll give you a little something. I said, great. So we finished up after 45 minutes. Then they sent me a Venmo. Guess how much, Sean? Guess how much?
For 45 minutes?
Yeah.
$9.
$9. $50.
Really?
Yes.
Fuck yeah.
They sent me $50.
That's a real paid gig.
Yeah. Now, it was 2 of them. So I think it was implied that it was from the 2 of them. So all the better.
Yeah.
But nevertheless, I was like, hell yeah, that's worth my fucking time.
Yes, it is.
Now, I wouldn't even ask that much for 45 minutes.
Well, no, I guess like 45 minutes would be 50 cents a minute, basically $22 or whatever.
50 cents a minute, it's $30 an hour.
Yeah. Well, no, but yeah, that's like, it would have been $22.50.
Yeah.
They basically paid you your rate plus a $5 tip. Right? If it's 50 cents, basically it's $1 a minute for two people.
Oh, you're saying that because it was two people, they each paid me the rate.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could look at it that way.
I mean, that's as it should be anyways, right?
Well, it all depends on how you want to do it.
Yeah.
You could just say, this is my price, and as many people as you get on the other side of the camera, that's your business.
Fair enough, but I'd say as a, for selling tickets to a venue,
Yeah.
you're not selling a group ticket.
Well, I'm just saying, we have the freedom to charge however we want.
Yeah.
Especially in this environment.
I mean, I think bespoke entertainment is going to be the future.
But I'm not saying your way of calculating it is incorrect at all. I'm just saying there's no real one right way to price it.
Are you promoting the other podcast that you're on?
Am I promoting the other podcast that I'm on?
Yeah. Didn't you have an appearance this week on another podcast?
Shut up, Siri. I wasn't asking you a question. I start asking a question. Am I promoting the other podcast I'm on? I'm sorry, I don't understand the question. It's listening to everything we're saying.
Yeah, that's why I have my phone shut off.
Readjust.
Yeah.
Readjust. Are you talking about this podcast?
No. You were on another podcast this week.
Oh, yeah. I didn't mention it, I don't think.
No, well, you said the words. You said there's...
I didn't notice.
You branded it already. You did the brand.
I didn't notice, Sean, but you're absolutely right. There is no one right way.
Oh.
And actually, the episode with Michael Allen CPA, which is me, is out now. So there's a promotion.
Yeah.
It is
That's
out
my
now.
point.
Listen to No One Right Way. I'm on it. We talk politics.
So there's a little fork over here that Barney is leading me down. This isn't the path though either. But I was going to say, if you continue up where you're at,
Yeah.
see if you can make some headway.
Okay.
Because I think that's where the fire road is.
I'm going to have some water.
Yeah, me too.
Oh my God. Apple, you need to turn off or be quiet or something.
Well, I have my Siri disabled.
Sounds like a good idea.
Completely. I mean, I never use it anyways. I don't like yelling at my phone for information.
Oh, look at that house up there. Look at those houses. It's weird to be in this small... It's like we're in everyone's backyard. Doesn't it kind of feel like?
Yeah. Which is interesting parallel with your dream.
Mm-hmm. You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
It kind of felt like this. But then we just wandered up to that house and then would go in that house. Enter through the front door, leave through the back door, just along the path, It is just another thing in the environment at the end of the day.
Yeah. I feel like in a weird way that's the argument I would make. Do you want something to drink, buddy? You want this?
Oh, no, I think there's good arguments to be made, for sure. I think there's great arguments to be made. It's not something I'd want to do, but I think there's very good arguments for it.
Here, bud.
But it did get me thinking that, in my political and economic philosophy, I do leave room for some private property. Perhaps selfishly. But it did occur to me that one can't really be, well, I mean, maybe there can be some way, but if you're going to have breaking and entering when you're not home be a thing, then you're talking about private property enforcement.
Yeah.
You can't have one without the other.
There's a great, speaking of art, fucking what is her name? Oh, Jenny. She did a lot of text-based art in the 80s and 90s.
Yeah.
Jenny Holzer. She has, I had a shirt, I don't know where it went, I think somebody stole it, but it had all these like aphoristic statements that she, and this is part of the thing, and her aphoristic statement is private property created crime. And I believe that.
I think, I don't think it's the only kind of crime that exists, but I think it's a useful statement.
There's a pair of kitchen shears in the dirt right here. I can't reach them from where I'm at, but maybe I'll get them when I walk over. So I was thinking, if you want to go up that path, that's, I think the path that we were looking at that goes to the...
Sure, yeah. We can check it out. I'm just,
chill in a minute.
If you're resting,
Yeah.
But yeah, this has the private property dream and the tree cutting dream are happening both here.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, no, the tree cutting wasn't your dream.
It's actuality is what's really happening in my life. But
if we run into Matt Damon on this hike...
That'd be amazing. And if we dressed up like ladies afterwards.
Yeah, what if we found a dead Matt Damon dressed as a lady?
Holy shit. Then I'd know we're in a simulation. That's the proof right there. But when you find out you're in a simulation, you can start trying to find cheat codes to make yourself some kind of billionaire sex god. I don't know.
Yeah, but don't you already try and do that, whether you think we're in a simulation or not?
Well, here's the kind of the thought I have, and I know it's not necessarily a thought that is healthy, but I think what if I'm already dead, right? Then the consequences of whatever I'm having to deal with are kind of negated, right? So if I'm already
Only
dead...
if you're totally disassociated.
Yeah.
Presumably, if you still are feeling pain, you're still feeling it.
Yeah, that to me has... Well, but again, though, pain is a tricky one for me.
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying, if you're being tortured, you probably would rather not be.
Yeah. But then I could always look at that as oh, well, I'm just in hell, or whatever. This is the part of the afterlife that includes pain.
Well, I mean, maybe... Look, I mean, if you are in a nirvanic state of acceptance about all these things, then perhaps you could have all that pain without any suffering. But I'm just thinking, I know you. Mm-hmm. And if you were being tortured, I imagine you would prefer not to be.
Yeah.
No matter how you contextualize it. And then you'd get done with it. If someone starts abusing you, you're very quick to be like, that's fucking bullshit.
Yeah.
Well, that's not the state of mind of someone who's...
Oh, yeah. Again, this is what I said. This is in my not darkest moments, but in a little trick of the mind that I'll play with myself to goad myself past my fears is, you're already dead. What do you care? Whatever, that kind of thing. Mm-hmm. Because ultimately, the only real fear, all fear, is the fear of death. I mean, pain is real, but, if we make it through the pain and we're still alive... That's still life.
Oh, pain is part of life for sure.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. It's a little trick of the brain I play, kind of if there is a simulation, or if simulation exists, it is what the ancients would have referred to as paradise or the afterlife or heaven or whatever. It's and a lot of people would say that the singularity or thinking that we're in a simulation is just the modern equivalent of, afterlife fantasy.
Yeah, to me, you're approaching word salad territory for me.
Okay.
What if all these other things that we can't prove or disprove are actually these other things that we can't prove or disprove? And it's yeah, well, maybe so. All depends on how you want to define it. It's all up to, you know.
Yeah, well, so again, we were talking about simulation theory, and so you're saying we're not in a simulation for fact, I guess? Or would
I'm saying I have no way of knowing that. I mean, if someone can present to me proof that we are, I'll have a look at it, but I don't, most of the things that people claim as proof for simulation are very, to me, just circumstantial.
No, I was just saying, if we found, my definition was, if we found Matt Damon dead in cross-dressing.
Yeah, that would not be proof enough to me that we were in any kind of simulation.
Okay.
It would be amazing, but I still wouldn't, it still wouldn't be proof to me that we were in a simulation or any other kind of thing. But I certainly would want an explanation, that's for sure. But, you know, if that's the proof to you, then I can't tell you it's not proof to you, you know. I see you as looking for that kind of proof in a lot of ways, because I think that's like your affinity for serendipity. Like when something happens that it's like, oh, there's that symbol again. It's like you're very excited by it.
Sure, but
whereas
that's also...
I'm kind of like, I don't know.
But that's also a function... That's also you say that, but that's also a function of our neurology. Our neurology seeks out patterns, right? So
I'm not making a judgmental statement. I'm just saying that seems to be...
So when my neurology gives me a hit of serendipity, a word that we could lay that has meaning, that you know, when I experience serendipity, the very elite feeling in my brain that can be elicited by making connections, yes, I celebrate it.
Well, I'm just saying I don't know why to you it is so much more enticing than to me. That's all I'm commenting on. It seems to be a difference in our I mean, you could call it a personality thing, or it could be a difference on a chemical level. I don't know what it is, but you are more excited by these things often than I am, for whatever reason.
I'm looking for miracles.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like you, and so while a small miracle may not be enough to convince you, be proof that it's a simulation, right? A large miracle, like Matt Damon being dead in makeup, might be a big enough one, like particularly after our conversation.
But I would say,
big enough to convince you, whereas it's not.
Here's what I'm going to say about if that were to happen. Yeah. Our lives would profoundly change, right? We could allow it not to. We could just be like, we were the guys that found cross-dressing Matt Damon's body, but we don't want anything in our lives to change after that moment. It would definitely be a quantum shift in our reality for sure. And the fact that we talked about it on the podcast.
That would really ensure that it, because we would, and I want to point out, though, that we won't know that it was Matt Damon cross-dressing. He could have been dressed up after he was killed.
Sure, again, I don't care. However we find him, whatever state we find him, even if he's just wearing makeup because he was coming home from a shoot, I'm going to consider that a little bit of cross-dressing anyways. I'm going to be like, he's wearing makeup. That's pretty, I mean, yes, it is part of his job.
I'm just saying, if he was killed before the makeup was applied, then he isn't cross-dressing.
No, I'm saying even if he's just wearing makeup from being on the job, I'm going to say. I
get. I understand that. I'm presenting the option that he was murdered and then
they put
makeup on him. And in that point, it would be unfair, I think, to say that Matt Damon was cross-dressing.
But also, I feel like if you and I got involved in trying to solve the mystery, like why did they put clothes on him, women's clothes on him afterwards?
Well, that would be an important thing to know, I suppose.
Yeah, this is my point. This is why I call it the simulation, but if this were to happen, it would be such a weird, miraculous thing to happen in our lives that it might as well be like fucking God fucking being like, look, dummies, ha ha! You can't prove it, but I fucking dropped a dead fucking Damon there.
I mean, like I said, if you want to bring God into it, that's your
or whatever.
That's your thing.
I'm just saying,
and that's fine. I'm just saying it's not my thing.
So huge.
Yeah.
It would be so fucking. Even if we didn't talk about it on our podcast, it would be so monumental to our lives. But again, now at this point,
right?
Yeah.
I just don't say that it like You can say it might as well be God. I don't say it might as well be God, but I don't discount any of the other stuff you're saying.
Also,
well, I may discount some of it, but not like how much it would potentially change our lives and stuff. I mean, we have some control over how much it changed our lives.
Yeah, but I would definitely match.
We have a choice as to how much we want to engage with it,
yeah.
And then we may not have a choice as to how much we want to engage with it, because if people find out we were like, take that old guy who was sort of inspecting us as we were heading up the trail.
Yeah.
You know, if they talk to him and then he says, "I saw these two guys," then next thing you know, we're getting people knocking on our doors.
Great.
And saying it.
Did you kill Damon?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we would be prime suspects, wouldn't we?
Of course. I don't care. I mean, here for two reasons.
I'm not suggesting you should or shouldn't care. I'm just exploring that we would be.
Yeah, of course. The person that finds the body is always the first person they think that did it.
Maybe Barney did it.
Well, also, I'm saying if we find an unconscious Matt Damon, that still would be pretty fucking crazy. I mean, you know.
Well, yeah. And then we'd go, Matt, are you alive? Hey, you're on a podcast.
Can we use your voice? we don't want to violate your fucking rights.
Look, I don't wish death on anyone.
You don't wish unconsciousness on anyone?
I don't want Matt Damon to be dead, but I think it probably could only help our podcast if we found a dead cross-dressing Matt Damon out here in the wilderness. Yeah. And you know what? It might be just beyond this hill. Well, I've enjoyed this conversation so much that we haven't been walking, but let's go see if we can't find dead cross-dressing Matt Damon. What do you say?
I'm going to pick up these shears, but yes.
You know, we can dream it all we want.
Go.
But until we actually find it, then it's just that. It's just a dream.
I can't not take them.
Well, this is good. I pick up the plastic and you pick up the metal.
Yeah, or the tools or the other artifacts. I mean, it's, you know, this thing's mostly plastic.
Yeah, I mean, it's just straight the fuck up.
But is there trail, I guess is the question.
I mean, I see some dirt still.
Okay. Well, if you can blaze it, I'll follow.
Well, I'll go up through this next section and then reassess.
Okay.
I mean, we're dealing with a lot of sand, which is kind of shitty.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff to grab onto, though, which is useful.
Yeah. I don't remember this trail being like this. Maybe I went on 2 hikes with this cute girl. Ended up being really no energy there. And I thought this hike led to the fire road.
You thought the cute girl led to the promised land.
Oh, you know.
It didn't.
Of course, she kept on talking about her ex-boyfriend, so I was like, oh.
Okay. Of course, my hat, as always, is not doing me any favors. Well, not as always. As always in these kinds of situations where we're dealing with a lot of stuff. A lot of rambly type stuff.
So you were saying the mass of these is part of the goal. The fact that we're going to have 100 episodes before the end of the year.
Yeah, that is part of it. It's a big part of it.
And the vulnerability and the honesty. I agree with all this stuff so far.
This is me struggling for my art.
Yes, you're pulling a Matt Barney right there.
Okay.
Or Chris Burden. Well, is there more?
I'm going to get to this corner here and find out.
Okay. The only thing I can think of is we were on our way up, maybe there was a path to the right that we missed, but I don't remember seeing anything.
I mean, it's rough, but there's definitely a path.
Okay.
Like, as long as it's got this sort of worn dirt.
It feels like yeah.
Like, there's a lot of bramble that's in our way, but the ground is clear. Well, I mean, clear enough. There's a lot of roots and sand, but... That section there is a little tough, but it gets easier.
Okay.
You just got to be a little creative, but there's plenty of stuff to grab. So I'd say use that. Okay.
Anything?
Something, yeah.
Okay. Oh shit. It's almost like, just a sec.
It's here for you.
It's almost like just this trail just collapsed or something.
Yeah, isn't it?
Yeah.
I don't know why or how, but now we can see into other people's backyards.
Let me scoot away from the edge here.
Yeah.
Just a little lightheaded. And yeah, it's probably just from disuse. But this is a real trail.
See, it kind of winds there.
Yeah.
You want to take a break?
Yeah.
Take it.
Yeah, we can see that beautiful backyard. Do you think the people that live here ever come and enjoy this hike?
I don't know. This is a tough one to enjoy.
Yeah.
I'm actually enjoying it quite a bit. I just mean, not all who enjoy hiking will enjoy this sort of thing.
Well, if it turns out that the hike is just supposed to be that dumb little loop down there, it's just like, that's it? You know, we accomplished that in like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
All the stuff, the tire swing, going up on that one side.
There might be something we're missing still.
Yeah.
But,
yeah, this is something. Some people have used this. It's not just an animal trail.
what was the title you were thinking of earlier?
6 swings.
Did some of the other tire swings, 6 swings?
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like Matt Damon, cross-dressing Matt Damon is
Even
probably better.
right? Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
that was a good discussion. How did we get onto cross-dressing Matt Damon?
Because Matt Damon was in my dream.
Oh, yeah, we were combining
my sponsor, but also like he was mentioning in my dream that he was raised as a girl.
Oh, and then I was talking about what we were talking about going through.
Yeah.
mom's makeup
Yep.
stuff.
And
Looking at their medicine cabinet,
yeah.
finding Dimetap to drink.
Finding, like I said, so she had this, I can't remember, yeah, it was a gel. She had a powder, some kind of sex powder, and then she had a gel called Happiness, and it was some kind of stimulating, some kind of, yeah, seriously.
Okay.
I'm just like,
So
come
if we
on.
combine your love of sex with your love of
Puns.
and you get
Penis, yeah.
Well, and then there was that joke from The Critic, right? With Orson Welles doing a pea commercial for peas.
I don't remember.
One of the puns was it's like filled with delicious penis.
It's a good joke. That's a good fucking joke. So, yeah, let's just continue a little bit. If this doesn't hit the fire road pretty soon, I don't know what the fuck.
I think we're gonna end up in someone's backyard. That would be so great.
It's like all of our dreams come true.
And then they'll be like, well, shit, I don't want to go back down that path again. Can't we just find a way out of this backyard, please? Oh, we have to go through the house? Okay.
Finally convinced. Finally. That's all it took was brambles. I mean, somebody's been up here. There's a fucking soda can.
Yeah.
Or beer can or whatever that is.
It's in Arizona.
Arizona iced tea.
Is it? Is that what that? No, it's
It looks like a Trader Joe's beer. Simple Times, you know.
Golden Road Brewing Mango Cart.
Oh, Golden Road. They're a local brewery. We should get them as a sponsor.
They apparently just were, just without paying us anything. See, this is the worst of both worlds. You know how you were talking about how, what if all the companies all the brands that, like if we find their litter, if anyone finds their litter, then they have to pay?
Yeah.
Just for it existing out in the world. Like, they should have to pay us for cleaning up their mess and for the fact that we just sponsored them.
Yeah, exactly.
Wouldn't it? I feel like, there's such asymmetrical warfare.
Yes.
Imagine if on all these YouTube videos that get like demonetized if you use a thing, what if it was the other way around? And like
You had to get paid.
Like, if I mention their thing on my video, like they have to pay me.
Well, this is like this whole I'm going to Disneyland thing, right?
Oh yeah, well the meme of that. Oh,
well,
my
no,
God,
but
yeah.
that was originally the agents would reach out to these football players, and they would be like, if you catch this fucking winning ball or whatever, and when they come up to you and they say, what are you doing next? If you say, I'm going to Disneyland, we'll give you whatever, $100,000 just for saying that during the live broadcast, whatever it was.
Great, sounds good.
Yeah, then
I think even I would say that for $100,000
or whatever it was, but then in Idiocracy, he keeps on saying brought to you by Mountain Dew or whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever the Dave Herman character thinks he gets paid every time he says this catchphrase, and it's like, well, no, they get paid every time you say this catchphrase, and they probably put the idea out in the culture so that people would more easily just drop their fucking brands with the hope that they'll get a secret check. You're getting a secret check.
Now, this is one of those cases where it's like, because I don't want to go through all the shit we've been through before, I'm continuing because...
There might be some other path on the other side.
Yeah, but then, of course, if we have to turn back, then there's even more shit we got to go through.
Or the same shit that we've already been through.
Well, that's what I mean.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. I have a little bit of that hope in my mind, too. But also, let me just look at...
As long as there remains path of some kind, and though it's rough, it seems still pathy to me.
And we haven't quite hit the summit yet.
Yeah.
And Barney's still having a good time.
Oh, so dusty.
Yeah. That is a little bit of a problem.
Oh,
is it
there?
there?
Close to the summit, or at least to the ridge.
Great. Damn. Ooh. Thanks for joining us. This has been a pretty amazing mind walk. If you want to go on your own mind walk, that would be awesome.
Subscribe to the Mind Walk Podcast on iTunes, Spotify, and YouTube. Follow us on social media at Mind Walk Pod, and support us on Patreon.
Yeah, come and be on our Mind Walk Pod Patreon page, and you get all of it for $10 a month.
Or just $5 a month if you want 3 episodes, or
$1.99 and you get nothing. Mind Walk.